Make bedtimes the best times with Bookosmia's Good Night Stories. For kids, by kids.
Radhya Jalan, 11, from Kolkata spins a magical mystery in the Golden-Eye-Grimazzane Shake. Between enchanted snacks, a missing golden shake, and a shocking betrayal, this story of quarter dragons, family, and justice will keep you hooked till the last bite. As my 103 siblings flew on clouds, Timmy and I were working our heads off at Daddy's bakery, Magic Muffins. This was a magical bakery with green walls and legendary treats. This bakery was full of enchanted items. For example, our dizzy donuts, a hypnotizing mantra put in a snack. I kept an eye that no one stole our Golden-Eye-Grimazzane Shake, a precious, spellbinding refresher. Only one has ever been made. Spill it on anything, it turns that object into pure gold. Despite being edible, it would not rot. Magical substances prevent the treasure from ever getting spoiled. You see, Daddy was a half dragon. He had huge wings. His flaming hair and ability to breathe fire was astonishing. He had married Mommy, a full human. The magical world was not happy about this because that would mean that there would be an incredibly weak magic type. Me and my siblings, quarter dragons, an arcane species that Princess Mia had never been introduced to before. Dragons were known for being powerful, fierce and strong-minded like Dad. But quarter dragon? No one knew what was expected. That was until the oldest of the 104 children were born. Zaki had a single dragon scale on her pinky, unlike Dad who had them on his big wings. She had no wings and no fire in her hair. Instead of being fierce as well as having a desire to be in control, only the want of control came through. She could barely breathe fire. Instead, just little flame balls came out. This followed with the rest of the children, including me. One day, when Timmy was out, a peculiar-looking man with a nose like an elephant trunk who appeared to be half goblin and half pixie walked over to the shop to check out the Golden-Eye-Grimazzane Shake. He stayed and wondered, if only I had enough in my bank to spend, I would be rich. You should keep an eye on it. It may give some people the urge to pilfer, he suggested in a deep voice. Well, that is rather expensive. However, we have some other cakes and brownies, which you may like. Try the Ichito tart or play a prank on someone with a legendary burpee bread, or maybe you are looking for something like a romance red velvet cake, I advertised. It was obvious that my sales pitch needed some improvement, considering he was not pleased. Do you have anything manipulative? He questioned, lifting an eyebrow. I suggested a few snacks, but he took extra interest in a particular one, the dizzy donuts. This was a manipulative snack since it worked in an unfair way. You had to take a bite while thinking of someone and they'd be hypnotized without knowing it. The man seemed more than intrigued and without thinking twice, took the snack and walked away. The next day, I went to the shop early in the morning to open Magic Muffins. Timmy had taken yet another day off. However, with Jimmy and Ginny, the twins in his place, you might have thought 3 people in the shop were better than 2. But those 2 did not have any sense of responsibility in them and spent all day gulping down giggly gumballs. Then, sometime in the middle of the day, when I was dusting the shelves, I arrived at the shelf near the window only to see the legendary beverage missing. I dropped my broom, hands on my head, and at once began speculating who it could have robbed it. I kept a list of suspects in my mind and began the investigation. I told the twins what happened the very moment I realized it was nowhere where. Despite the giggly gumballs, they could not even chuckle. They were shocked as I was. None of the twins seemed the culprit. I decided to take the investigation up with Police Troll. Troll did not find me a bother, so he allowed me to tag on. First on the suspect list was the odd man who had come the day before. I was not allowed into his house with Troll due to some useless policy called trespassing. But Troll called him clean. But as he walked out, he proudly stated a startling statement, "I know who the thief is." "You? Who?" I exclaimed. But he was set on his judgment. In the court, he argued that I was the only one in the shop apart from the twins who had been chewing on giggly gumballs. While they would be rolling with laughter, I would be presented with the perfect chance to steal the shake. But I argued, why would I take it? It is the most expensive item in the shop, and I need the money earned from selling it for my family so that I will not be stuck running the bakery on a weekend. The shake may be expensive, but part earnings you create from that shake will be sent to the royalty. You yourself know that the widespread news about the beverage has caused Princess Mia to enforce a new rule. The shake is rightly hers but stored in the shop by you. She decides its price, and 50% of the money earned in case someone buys it will go to the royal family. You cannot even afford that half, which is why you cannot buy it. However, if you get it in your possession somehow, you may begin selling gold items, increasing your family wealth, making sure you are no longer working in your father's bakery. Troll's debate was good. I lost all hope in knowing I had lost the argument and might be toiling in the castle's cage soon. But then it struck me, we have icy eyeballs, acting as the perfect CCTV, my evidence that I was obviously not a robber. We began watching what happened the day before the crime. Everyone's eyes fixated on the shake. Then, at 10 minutes past midnight, they saw me walk into the shop. I did not remember doing this. I apparently took the Golden-Eye-Grimazzane Shake and walked away. My brother called out from the back, "She doesn't sleepwalk." Everyone began chanting in chorus, "Thief! Thief! We found our thief!" My parents shivered in fear. Majority of my siblings were frowning. Brother Timmy burst into tears and gulped, broken-hearted. I was sent to an awful cage in the palace. What you would call prison. It had goblin saliva dripping from the ceiling. Unicorn tears flooded the floor. Burnt bread was placed near the saddening rails, covered with mean pixies seizing it, drenched in dragon's blood. I sat near the wall and whimpered. I knew it was not me. How could I prove it? The reason for me to do it was perfectly possible. No one wants to be stuck working on a Saturday night. But if I did not steal it, who else would be in that situation? The twins. Who else hates being there? Not Daddy. He loves his bakery. Timmy. He hates that place. Nearly prison, but worse. But how was I taking the shake? The dizzy donuts. He could have easily hypnotized me using them and got me to do something I did not please to. Right then, a redhead pixie in a green dress, the size of my thumb, flew up to my eye level. You know I can read minds, right? She said. She continued. So, should I tell Troll? It's horrible down here, you know. She fluttered to Troll after I used my dragon strength to widen the bars for her to squeeze through. I made it out of jail and found evidence of the rest of the leftover donuts under his bed, proving my theory. I felt sorrowful for my brother but shocked that he let me take the blame. The tears dripped down my face. However, by noon I was alright once again. So, as the day ended, I just needed to bake one more snack, Justice Jelly, a non-magical dessert but still best seller of the day. Thank you.